So now you can say, hey, our our paid search is working because after paid search and 2 referrals, you had 204 people come in.
Interesting.
After, organic search 19, this is a ski hill, so a lot of people are checking for weather conditions, so that's why we had so many people check so often. But their
Mhm.
first interaction was a paid search.
But I have a question because this has happened many, many, many times. When we're driving top of funnel traffic, obviously referral source Facebook, but we also see a direct correlation between the efficacy of our traffic and over 2 or 3 days, let's say, later, we don't see social media traffic, we see the direct traffic come back. They literally said, "Oh, we just thought we were God's greatest gift to marketing because all the attribution said direct, but it was 100% the traffic we were sending."
So this section down here, and I'm gonna go to an actual live GA4 account to show you. See, so this section down here where it says page search, organic search, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
Okay. What that is actually once you have your conversions set up and you've identified what counts as a conversion, GA4 over time will be able to tell you what is the customer journey to get a conversion.
Mm,
So this is the real power. So again, think it's layered, right? So we start by having these very specific events that are very granular, and not all of them are conversions. A lot of these are just good to know and helps with our data modeling. But if
mhm.
I expand here, what happens is we have a couple of things here: form submission, click ticket purchase, add to cart, purchase. We've marked these. So something that's not a conversion, you can mark as conversion. The items that are conversions are already marked.
Okay.
And what happens over time is that you can then see how are my conversions doing.
Mm.
But what's really interesting is you can actually go over to the advertising side. And again, this is because we're using a lot of Google platforms,
Mhm.
but you can actually see the conversion paths. And let me just show you because there's hundreds of conversion paths. So now you can say, hey, our our paid search is working because after paid search and 2 referrals, you had 204 people come in.
Interesting.
After, organic search 19, this is a ski hill, so a lot of people are checking for weather conditions, so that's why we had so many people check so often. But their
Mhm.
first interaction was a paid search.
Oh,
Here's
I see. So that's so the numbers are the buckets of each individual user experience.
their touch points, exactly. So here you have
Ah,
organic social 6 times, and then 96 people had 6 interactions with their organic social and then converted.
that's wild.
Yeah, and so here you can see, to your point, right, the problem that you guys are having. This is a client where we're not doing too much of the paid social for them, so I don't know that it's tracking properly. But you can imagine how it would say paid social and then some other path and then something something, and then it'll tell you exactly how many. So for your client where you guys were doing a lot of organic social stuff, you would probably see a heavy organic social followed by direct traffic or organic search, followed by a bunch of conversions. And basically, you could go through the list and go anything that has to do with our organic social or paid social, that's us.
Yeah, that's what we basically had to do. We had to put custom tagging on the pixel side and manually cross-reference. Okay, if they hit this tripwire, then X happened. If they hit this one, then Y happened. And then, we would layer on the frequency with how many times did we hit them with ads, and the custom audiences that we were daisy chaining together were giving us what their actual experience was and how frequently we're doing it.
Yeah, so that's the beauty about GA4. You don't have to do that manually. This just does it for you over time.
Very cool. I'm curious about Instagram because for the territory we're embarking now, where we're driving a lot of top of funnel traffic, um, I would love to see if we did like a growth campaign and then a lead gen campaign, what would the journey be to convert?
So in theory, I would think that because again, I have a little bit more knowledge than I should about how you guys are operating, but I know that the strategy that you're taking would count as organic social, right?
Yeah.
That organic social, what we would probably want to see is that people are coming in from organic social, clicking on the link and ending up on the website. Because again, the big problem with Instagram is that Facebook doesn't play nice with
Mm.
Google. So unfortunately, GA4 is a little bit blind until people click through on that link and end up on the website. And keep
Hmm.
in mind, this is all about the website traffic, not so much about the Instagram traffic. It's
Yep.
focused on interest and desire. So what we would probably likely see is a bunch of people clicking on the link coming from organic social. What we would want to see is that the brand, the landing page, the assets, it makes enough of an impact on the users that they come back either through organic search or through direct.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
And I mean, that's what we would be doing anyway, because we're trying to track, let's say we send the people a link and we get 10,000 people who click it. What do they do after the click? That's what we need to.
exactly. And then, so this is a good way for you to gauge, like, okay, like, this is like, yes, you're seeing a bunch of traffic. This is what the general path is, and you can prove it, and it just kind of takes care of it. So yeah, this would definitely be applicable to what you guys are doing.
Awesome.